And to be able to remain ageless, you need to respect that face and only do what that face really needs, and not to do the same procedures again and again on different people. Because for instance, in someone in their 20s, if you really make the cheeks very high, you can create this very gaunt look that sometimes mimics what woman looks like when they're 50. So if you're 20 and you do this procedure on a 20-year-old face, you are going to look older, not younger. Even though you might end up with higher cheekbone, that doesn't suit that face, let me add. You will look older. And to be able to remain ageless, you need to respect that face and only do what that face really needs, and not to do the same procedures again and again on different people. Because for instance, in someone in their 20s, if you really make the cheeks very high, you can create this very gaunt look that sometimes mimics what woman looks like when they're 50. So if you're 20 and you do this procedure on a 20-year-old face, you are going to look older, not younger. Even though you might end up with higher cheekbone, that doesn't suit that face, let me add. You will look older.
What you feel is an appropriate treatment plan at each stage of your facial aging. So let's start in our 20s. I mean, God knows we're getting more and more women and men in their 20s having quite intense cosmetic procedures. But what do you recommend are the first tweakments that we can start investing in our 20s?
Look, I mean, if you know me well, and I'm sure you know me very well, you know that skincare is very important to me at all stages, but more so at your 20s and then even before the 20s, because especially living in Australia, we have a hole in the ozone layer. So we get a lot more sun damage than our European friends. So in your teens and in your 20s, to me, it's all about the skin. So you need to start to, first product that I'll always say is not negotiable in my practice is sunscreen. You need to wear sunscreen every single day. The second ingredient that I like Australian more so than the rest of the world to wear is antioxidants, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E. All these products will help to scavenge the free radical from the sun and then pollution. So to protect our skin that little bit extra.
What about the role of filler and skin boosters, which are also another form of injectable in your 20s? And then I'm going to go on to the 30s and beyond.
Sure. Well, let's start with the skin boosters. Skin boosters is a product made from hyaluronic acid that is in some instances not cross-linked or cross-linked slightly to hydrate your skin. And as you know, hyaluronic acid is the biggest factor why we have water in our skin. It locks water in our skin. So if you're already suffering from dry skin or your skin's a bit dull, because of many different factors, including pollution and smoke and you name it, there's a lot of factors that can make your skin really feel dull and terrible. Skin boosters are good, and they're good for everyone at any age, because all they're doing, they're adding the reservoir of hyaluronic acid into your skin. So your skin is always dewy, plump. Your pore size are minimized. So to me, this is a no-brainer. I think everyone will benefit from a skin booster of some sort. And there's many different brands on the market. We're not going to go through them all because we'll be here all day. As far as filler, I'm in the philosophy that you only change what needs to be changed. And this is where it comes to the decision to the doctor or the esthetician together with the client to make this decision about what's going to work for their faces. I think where people are going wrong is they see something on Instagram, on social media, and they say, oh, that looks pretty on that face. I would like to have the same. But you must understand is not everything that is pretty outside on Instagram is going to look good on your face, because unless it makes sense and elevate your beauty to another level, there's really no need for you to have it.
Back to our 30s, and you noted the things that we're going to start seeing manifest in our skin. Are there areas of the body as well? You said because it's happening all over your face, not just under your eyes, not just in your nasolabial folds. What about the rest of our body? What is the deterioration that the aging process is going to start manifesting in your 30s?
Well, I guess it depends on how much of a sun lover you are and how much of a non-sunscreen lover you are. It depends on what happened to your face and body, really. It's just all to do with basically utilizing protection throughout your whole life if you want to protect your skin. Your skin is a living organ like anything else with us. And so when people when people actually just looking at their face, look at their neck, look at their chest, look at their hands, because these are the areas that are getting as much sun exposure as your face and are often neglected when we put our sunscreen or when we put our skincare in the morning. So to me, as your face and neck and chest and hand is part of your face.
I feel like in your 40s is a time where you are really manifesting this concept of wanting to be ageless. You feel young, you have a lot of vitality, but perhaps your face and your body is letting you down. 40s is typically a time after you've had your children. And
Yes.
You said that you're going to talk about hormones and perimenopause and menopause. So 40s is usually a time for perimenopause. And
Yes.
then exactly as you said, intuitively, when you meet people, even in a first scan, you're able to kind of tell how old a woman is once she reaches her 40s, not so much in her 30s. So you touched on the areas where you can see the aging, and it's around this area. So what are some of the things that you advocate in and alongside great skincare, which you should be seriously investing in?
Of course. So I'd say whatever we start with 20s, we continue or we change the formulas for people according to their age and to where their skin is. But in their 40s, and then we need to talk about that maybe a bit later, as it's about hormonal changes and perimenopause or menopause for some people. But where the key issue is volume loss. So this will be number one. I can give you facials from now until next year. If I don't address your volume loss, you're going to look the same and your skin will not respond. It's really a misnomer in the community to think that, oh, I can do facials and that's all I'm going to do and I'm going to get results. You can't. You can't, because science had really proven that you can't. So just relying on skincare alone or on just facials, it's not going to give us any solution. If the roof of your house is starting to collapse, and you need to check the columns. If the columns of that house is really steady and strong, yes, go and fix the roof. But if your columns of the house are really wobbly, you got to fix those columns before you can address the roof. So for me, the skin is the roof of the house.
One of the things that I had, I think it was about 3 years ago, and I'm due to have it again. I loved it. It was the best. I honestly credit it as being the best anti-aging treatment of all time, is you put filler in my hands. And I have not stopped raving about this treatment. It is a game changer. Tell us about how aging occurs in your hands and some of the things that you can do.
I think anyone that listening will see there's a repetition, there's a theme that repeats again and again. We lose volume everywhere, right? And then a hand is another area where we lose volume. Normally in your 20s, you have lots of fat on your hand. But this fat, as part of the aging process, also start to disappear slowly. And as it disappears, you start to see structures underneath where the fat is located, no different to the face. But also the hands are the areas that we've often neglected. We're in the sun, we use chemical substances, we don't moisturize, we don't put sunscreen. So the skin is changing very quickly, but also the structures underneath the skin is also changing.